Welcome back, everyone. It's now my very great pleasure to introduce to you the Chancellor of the University of Sydney, Belinda Hutchinson. Belinda Hutchinson AM became the 18th Chancellor of the University of Sydney in February 2013. She is a strong advocate for the critical role of world-class education and research in securing Australia's social and economic future. She graduated with a Bachelor of Economics degree from the University of Sydney and in 2012 received a University Alumni Award for Professional Achievement. She has a deep interest in developing a culture of philanthropy and sits on a number of not-for-profit boards. She is currently Chairman of Future Generation Global Investment Company, Australia's largest impact investment fund, with a focus on child and youth mental health. Her family foundation supports a variety of community-based initiatives, such as the Hunger Project in Malawi, Africa. In the business sphere, she is Chairman of Thales Australia Limited, a non-executive director of AGL Energy, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants and the Institute of Company Directors. She was previously chairman of QBE Insurance Group, a director of Telstra, Colesmire, Energy Australia, TAB, St Vincent's Health Australia, Crane Group, and president of the New South Wales State Library Council. Belinda is a champion for increasing opportunities for women in leadership positions, and she is past president of the Chief Executive Women, which comprises more than 400 of the country's women leaders. I now welcome to the stage the University of Sydney Chancellor, Belinda Hutchinson.
Thank you, Jessica, very much for that very generous welcome. And I'm absolutely delighted to be here today. And wow, doesn't this room look amazing? International House at its absolute best. But it's like this every time I come here. It is such a special place. I would like to thank Uncle Ray for his warm welcome to country, and I would too like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and pay my respects to their elders, past and present. And isn't it absolutely appropriate today that we take the time to honour this age-old custom of welcoming people from other lands? After all, this college has been doing exactly that for half a century. And I'd also like to acknowledge Bree for her wonderful welcome on behalf of the students. And I have to agree with you, Bree, the food is absolutely delicious here today. So it's great to hear, because we were talking, Ambassador Chowdhury and I were talking, it's so important that we provide our students with good food and good accommodation, and that's exactly what International House does. But this is a very special day, and it's wonderful to see so many distinguished guests, alumni, staff, residents, and students joining us for this special celebration. And in particular, I would like to acknowledge Graham de Graaf and his wife, Loris Elms, OBE. Graham was, of course, the founding director of International House, and he and Loris remain friends of IH to this very day. Also, I'm very keen to welcome, on behalf of us all, our keynote speaker, Ambassador Awalul Chowdhury and his wife, Miriam. We're absolutely thrilled to have you with us today, and we're very much looking forward to hearing from you, Ambassador. When the university developed its new strategy in 2016, it made two important statements that now underpin so much of what we stand for and strive for to achieve. First, we explicitly affirmed the notion that as an institution, diversity was absolutely what was key to making us a stronger institution and more likely to achieve our ambition of excellence, and being committed to valuing every person for the contribution they make rather than who they are. Second, as part of our new education strategy, we included cultural competence, an ability to work productively, collaboratively, and openly in diverse groups and across cultural boundaries, and one of the qualities that would be embedded in all of our student learning. And as Ambassador Chowdhury put it so well yesterday, giving our students a sense of global citizenship. And I know that all of you in this room, everyone here, would not disagree in any way with those principles. Indeed, you might be wondering what took us so long to put them so clearly on the table, because these are the qualities of International House that you have valued and encouraged since the inception of this house, and that are part actually of the DNA of IH. Established as a result of a most extraordinary fundraising appeal by Rotary, which raised $500,000 in the 1960s, International House was founded with a commitment to promoting international understanding and friendship, and to making overseas students feel welcome in Australia. IH has always been a little different from some of our traditional residential colleges. A secular co-ed institution, both much more uncommon when it was established than now. It had a slightly older student base and a much more relaxed atmosphere. No high table or gowns here, but traditions grew nevertheless, and a sense of identity was strengthened by contact with other international houses around the world. A very strong alumni network has developed, and here I must pay tribute to the 6,000 alumni members that have supported IH over the past 50 years. The lasting friendships made while resident at International House cross both years and international borders. Rotary's contribution to International House's success cannot be understated. Not only was the fundraising effort itself the product of enormous enthusiasm and a great deal of hard work, the relationship has been long-standing and deep and lasts to this day. In fact, without the generosity of Rotarian Ian Hudson, residents might not have been able to enjoy the Australian bush in the log cabin near Berrima, and an occasion and in a place so strongly sustained by the belief that knowing people from other cultures breaks down barriers and creates a stronger society. I can't think of a better person to speak to us today than Ambassador Chowdhury, who has made it his life's work to advocate for a culture of peace. Ambassador Chowdhury has had an extraordinary career, and his achievements are far too many to list here. Suffice it to say that he has been the President of the UN Security Council, President of the UNICEF Board, UN Under-Secretary General, Special Advisor to the UN General Assembly President, and founder of the New York-based Global Movement for Culture of Peace. He has been recognised many times for his advocacy in advancing the cause of peace and for his steadfast belief that while women remain marginalised, we can never achieve sustainable peace. I'm looking forward immensely to hearing what he has to say today. The Ambassador and I, together with his wife, Mrs. Chowdhury, and Steve and Jessica, had a wonderful lunch yesterday. The Ambassador spoke passionately about the criticality of enabling the education and empowerment of women if we are to achieve the UN Sustainability Development Goals by 2030 and beyond. He talked about the progress in Bangladesh as a result of education and empowerment of women. There is a long way to go in both the developing and the developed world. But it is absolutely important that we have strong advocates like the Ambassador. You may wonder what this pin is. This is a pin that the Ambassador gave me today, and to Steve and to Jessica as they walked in. This is representative of the UN Declaration for Women, Peace and Security, which the Ambassador so proudly and so purposefully drove through the UN. And I'm absolutely delighted to be able to wear it, and I'm absolutely delighted to be able to welcome you to the stage to speak to us today, Ambassador. Thank you.